Hey guys, it's Shmal again from Team PGSC, and we're here for episode 4 of Infernoble Knights versus the World. So, yeah, you can see the deck list changed quite a lot actually. I'll actually be going over 2 lists today because I changed it and then I changed it again quite quickly after that. So this is the one that I was using for the first few duels, but then I've decided to change it after having played these duels. Okay, so here we're now playing less than 60. We're actually only playing 41. And I'll quickly go over what I'm playing. So 5 Lady, I'm not playing 3 anymore. Gearfried, I'm not playing 3 anymore. Stolfo, Ogier, I'm only playing 1 now. So that's quite big. Yeah, Oliver, we got our O-Lion and Jet Synchron. We got our Connector, our Gamma, Gemba, our Squeak Knight and Sublimation Knight. Red Layer, our Equip Spells, Chalice, Living Fossil, really good card, Midbreaker Field, and Monster Reborn, all that. And we have the Tactical Talent. So you probably see that we're playing a lot less Equip Spells. So we're only playing 1, 2, 3, 4 different names. So we're not playing stuff like Off Duty or whatever the other one was. But yeah, so we're not playing Joyas, that was it. Joyas, we're not playing the other Infernoble Knight Equip spell because I feel like I need to have as many extenders as possible, and it has to be as consistent as possible. So I've tried to make it, kind of his old turbo. But then I figured out something, and I was like, oh wait, it's not as good as I think. But yeah, so this menu list, my side deck now is Pacrotops, triple Cosmic, triple Dark Ruler, and triple Droplet because yeah, combo just really gets on my nerves. I mean, you'll see in a second one of the combo decks I play against. Lightning Storm, still at 1 because I still only own 1. 2 Evenly Matched, and then Imperial Order for going first, and Reboot for going second. And then my extra deck, some changes here. I've actually put in Entis and removed Trish. That's just because of the Dogmatica matchup. But that's about it because yeah, Trish is obviously really good, but I feel like there are more situations where this comes into play. Because if I want to go into a 9, I can just go into Charles and carry on playing from there. And if I do end on Trish, it sometimes isn't game most of the time. And if I wanted to go for game, I'd make access code. So yeah, he gets rid of problematic cards, but that's why I have my side deck as well. So I think Trish is all right, but in the current format anyway, I think Entis does more, especially with so many Dragma decks running around. This is my current list, so let's get into the gameplay. So our first match is up against Megalith. They've topped LCS, I think it was. So yeah, I just want to show this as well because I did play against them. I didn't know exactly what every card does, but members of my team, one in particular, really enjoys this deck as well. So I thought I'd showcase this off. I have Ogier, I have Infinite Impermanence, Renault, Phoenix Blade, and Goddamn Driver. But I think it's still fine. I mean, I can get to my Gearfried and then protect my Isolde if I really want to. So he's got Gamma, Imperm, Pencil Plume, the Not Ritual spell, and Rights. So it's pretty strong hand, especially with 2 hand traps. Can we play around 2 hand traps? Let's find out. And actually, before I start, I think I should start doing this a lot more now. So I was at 625 when I started this game, and he was at 1078. So he's way ahead of me. King Teg. So I normal summon Ogier, send Gearfried, especially some Renault, add back the Gearfried. Then I go into my Isolde. Now I'm thinking I can use my first effect because, I mean, the thing is, like, if he's got an Ogre, it's fine because I get to add something to my hand and I get to summon my. Well, actually, no, this was actually kind of stupid. No, never mind. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, no, I shouldn't have used the first effect because if it does get Ogre, then I don't have anything left anymore, except for the Imperm, which would have been really bad. If we got Gambit again, that would have been not that great. So yeah, no, this was a mistake on my part. We have Imperm on this effect to add, so that's kind of annoying, but I guess it's still fine because I can still send Equip spells and then summon Gearfried, just like that. Obviously, I don't know he has another hand trap in hand, but it wouldn't matter anyway because you can always send for cost. So I send Smoke Grenade and Durandal, then I use Gearfried's effect to summon itself out. And he gets gammed. I mean, that was the correct play on his part because I could have just equipped it with Ogier afterwards. So he gammers it. Not looking too good for me now. And then I just end by setting that, and then now he's on 19, so I guess he's bigger. She's bigger than normal. And I equip it with Ogier because I can. You know, there's no reason not to. Unless, of course, he's playing evenly, in which case, you know, I probably lost anyway. Okay, so he draws into another preparation. Now it's not a once per turn, so you can use it multiple times. He goes ahead and adds Ophiel. He uses Pencil Bloom's effect, revealing the Ophiel. Now I'm not exactly sure how this deck works exactly, so what I decided to do is, well, it says can add a ritual spell, so I'm thinking, okay, if he doesn't get to his ritual spells, then it's fine. So he does add it. I don't think he saw my imperm. But he has the Unformed, so you can just go ahead and carry on playing from there. Summons the Fool, really powerful card. I think probably the most powerful card in the deck. He adds the Ophiel back to hand. It's now level 4. Uses effect, getting rid of both of those. Whose total level equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster. Now, I'm not actually sure if this was legal because one of them already equals it. So are you allowed out? Because I thought the effect meant basically you can use a 3 and a 3, for example, to bring out a 4. But if one of them already equals it, I don't know. I'm not really too sure about this because it does say or exceed. So I guess you could use like 4 level 10s to summon out this. But I don't know. It just doesn't feel like that would be correct. I don't know. You could leave it in the comment section below to explain to me if that's correct or not. But yeah, no. Once he summons Agate, he gets another Unformed. This card is not a once per turn. I don't think. Interesting. And then he goes into that, and I don't have any more interruptions. He's going to get blocked dragon, so I just admit defeat. Game 2. I decide to go first, and I'm thinking, okay, it's look at his hand and win the game from there. Now he's opened, oh my god, Barrier Statue of the Heavens. And Gizmekuka. Okay, so he's playing the Barrier Statue of Torrents as well. Oh, unless, does it say? From your hand or deck. Okay, so I guess he was trying to summon out the Barrier Statue of the Heavens because actually, I'm not even sure why. Does he have something I'd like to go into in his extra deck? He might do. Anyway, so he opens quite well. I sided in the Lancia because, I mean, Block Dragon, that was literally, I didn't have many cards to side in my previous list. So this was my list before I changed it again. So I changed actually a few times. So yeah, Summon Dolphin. He activates the effect of Gizmek. Now I think he's going to target my Dolphin, but he chooses to target Connector. And I'm thinking, okay, I still don't want him to go through, so I just chain Droplets. And he admits defeat because he knows he's going to get comboed. Game 3, I'm going second. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, so I open Living Fossil, Gamma, Connector, Stole for Ogier. So again, this is pretty good because I opened Connector plus an Extender. Plus another Extender even. And Gamma going second is pretty good. He's got Nibiru, extra Haggith, Chalice Slime, Block Dragon, so he's opened the block. Use that effect in hand. He shows me he's got the block to summon out that. He activates Candle. I negate that again. I'm just thinking I don't want him to get any resources from his deck because he normally always summons, well, Megalith decks always summon the dude that will get them to something that they're missing. If he's missing the equip spell, I mean the ritual spell, that if I can stop him from getting to, what was it called? Incantation something. If I can stop him from doing that, then I mean, unless he's got the quick play spell in his hand, I'm doing pretty well. Now he did have the extra foolish. I guess he could have gone into. He could have sent what's his face, Herald of the Arclight, and then searched the equip, not the equip, the ritual spell, and then tried to go from there. But maybe he was out of because I think it has to equal the level, so maybe he was out of actual targets. Because again, the Megalith ritual spell is not a ritual spell, is it? It's a quick play. Okay, I draw another extender. This is actually amazing because I can, if he does hand trap me or something, I can Oliver send Ogier and then use a Stolfo to banish the Ogier, so I'm not losing as many resources as I would, normally lose. So summon out the Dolphin. Use the effect to look at his hand. Unfortunately, he's got 1/3, 3k, and 2/5, so that's kind of annoying. Then I go into his old. Now I know he's got the Nibiru, and I'm actually wanting to play into the Nibiru because I have an extender. Red layer, use the effect to send 2. Make link cross. I'm going to my normal plays, making 2 tokens. Now I'm thinking, is he going to Nibiru me here? He chooses not to, and because I've already got a tuner in hand, I'm like, okay, he's not Nibiru me here. There's no point in me wasting my Marcher because he'll definitely Nibiru me there. So I'll just go into Herald. And now I'm free from Nibiru because I know exactly what he's got in his hand. And I go Living Fossil for that. So yeah, extender, the tuner, make Needle. Yeah, I can fast forward this a bit. Make Auroradon, summon out the tokens. Use the effect, summon out Olion. Summon out Roland. Go into Savage. He tries to Nibiru me on the effect of Savage. Now I have to herald that. I use the effect of Sword. Okay, so this is a bit of a different play that I did. I did add Sword for the Jet Synchron, but I was thinking if this can copy the 5, so that'd be a 5. This is on a level 1 because it's summoned by its own effect, and this is on a 3. So 5 plus 3 plus 1 is 9. That was the thought in my brain, and I was going to go into Charles and then yeah, just go from there. So I would have had quite a lot of damage there as well, and he wouldn't have been able to. I don't think he was thinking he could have. I mean, he probably could have played through it, if I'm being perfectly honest, because I'd side out the grenade most of the time. But he didn't make a defeat anyway. Yeah. So that was against Megalith. Moving on to the next replay. I lost the die roll. This was against Agoni, so I was on 643 and he was on 1001 rifle. Again, someone who's a lot higher rated than me. And this is the match. Now you'll see what happens if you play against combo. Dragon Link is actually absurd. So he opened Black Metal, Collapse Serpent, Imperm, Leviané, and Red Rose. So this is the only kind of brick, and even then it's not really a brick. But he has a Black Metal and Collapse Serpent, so I probably lose. I was just hoping I'd get to keep all these cards because then this is an extender. This allows me to bait something out. This is a good card. This is also good. So I could have done something if he kept by. Obviously, the Leviané gets rid of the most of them cards. Summons out Striker, goes into Boot Sector, searches Boot Sector and Darkness Metal. Uses that to summon Darkness or some Black back. Effect of this once per turn. No, so technically, if he was playing some other target, I mean, I think once the Dragoon comes out, people might be playing the Red Eyes, the original Red Eyes Black Dragon as well. So he could have potentially chain blocked that as well. So yeah. Here we go into Romulus. Yeah, normal plays. I don't have any hand traps, so I'm just gonna let him play. Marcher brings it back. Someone's Red Rose, someone's White Rose. Does his Guard Dragon plays. Summons out Router. Goes into the Dragon Destructor Whelp, Protector Whelp, sorry, of Destruction Sword. Absolute searches that. Yeah, so I'm thinking he's going to end up on his best board. He's already got the Herald. He goes into Boral Sword, so that was interesting. I mean, he is a dragon, and it gives him zones if he needs them. Someone's Leviané, rips out. I mean, I would have wanted him to rip out Ogier, but no, he got the most rebound. But I was thinking let him keep on playing. Instead of conceding, I wanted to see how well he knew his own deck. If I know how well he knows, I can play around that. Yeah. Use the effect of that. Tracer to summon out Recharger, goes into Savage. And then to just, rub salt on the wounds, this card. Oh my god. And he sets the Imperm, so even if I did have something to potentially out it. Oh god. So here I'm thinking to myself, I need to get rid of that. But then, even if I did normals, I mean, I wouldn't probably normal some of this. I mean, I have the tactics anyway to try and get something, but I need to get rid of this. And he doesn't seem like a stupid player, so I don't think he'd negate anything that wouldn't, matter to him because he knows I can't go into the extra deck. So I think what he's trying to do is protect Moral Sword or the Destruction Sword. And that went through my mind. I was like, I'm not going to win this. I just conceded. All right, going second. I mean, going game 2. So I decided to go first. I'm like, okay, I just need to get rid of as many cards in his hand as possible. And I happened to open the Dolphin and the Midbreaker, so I'm playing around Imperm and Ogre and all that. Yeah, use the effect. Now, this was a difficult choice, but I thought Monster Reborn is a thing I can use even from his grave. Durandal just gets me to the next warrior, so this was the only card that I didn't really want to keep. I was actually thinking of not activating this at all. So then I could discard this instead. But if you had something that, if you had multiple hand traps which targeted or destroyed, then that wouldn't have been really good. So Living Fossil was really good. I get rid of his black metal. He says from the field, sent from the field to the grave. So I was like, okay, I can get rid of that. But now I know what he has in his hand. I have to get rid of the triple tactics and the white rose, really, because I don't want his darkness metal to have anything, because I will be able to negate the quick launch. But now I know what he has, so I can just go ham. I had Gear Freed this time because I'm thinking I need it for next turn. I could have added it at the end as well. I could have gone to other play, but I was thinking I should probably go into my Coral Dragon so I can draw a card, because advantage is, one of the biggest names of the game, I suppose. Summon Herald first because I'm thinking I want to have as many negates as possible, especially because I have the Monster Reborn. Go into that, summon a token, add back the Divine Sword. And then I use Omega to shuffle that back into his deck, because I guess what I was thinking was that because I've already seen his hand, it doesn't really matter if he top decks this, because if he top decks a dragon anyway, it's fine. But this top decking this now would be even worse because he's already got that, so it wouldn't give him as much advantage as other cards would. So I shuffle that back into the deck. Shout outs to Nicholas D. He's a really, really good player as well. And then I reborn it back. Remove back the roll, and then I make the second Omega, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll just rip a card out of his hand, and I get the dragon. And finally, I'm thinking to myself, okay, now I just have to rip out the triple tactics, because then I'll be able to negate whatever I want. And if you normal summon something, well, I'll know the other two cards now. So if you normal summon something, I can just pop it with Charles, and that'll be hopefully the end. As long as you can't summon the Red Eyes Darkness Spell. So I stopped him from being targeted, even though he can't be targeted anyway. And I had Roland to hand. So this is from my new list where I play Roland. I'll go over that list in a second as well. And the reason I'm playing Roland is because when I'm playing Midbreaker Field, I can't destroy my opponent's cards either. So Roland in the grave, the Synchro Roland, doesn't do much, but this Roland can be activated as a quick effect, so I can do it during the battle phase, and it gives my monster 500 attack, so it's good. I get rid of the triple tactics. He draws Droplet for turn. Yeah, now even if I did negate this, he can't Droplet then negate because it tributes for cost. I don't know what the other card is in his hand, but I'm just thinking if I just get rid of that, this should be fine. And there we go. Yeah, that was game 2. Now game 3, he's going first, and I'm just praying I just open, my negates. So I do open Gamma, which is pretty good. Let's see how far I can go. And he opens Chaos Space. Chaos Space is broken in this deck because he can do all of his plays without even normal something, and can block everything, and there's no really good place to Gamma. So you'll see where I Gamma. If you think there could have been a better place to Gamma, then please let me know. So he searches that, he banishes that to summon Serpent, and again, now he can put that back into his deck, draw a card, and he's got Seifert, and now he could potentially normal summon. Obviously, I don't know if he has that, but he's got multiple extenders. He's got the Monster Reborn, he's got the Noctovision, he's got the Quick Launch, and yeah, I don't think I've got nothing in my hand would have helped me apart from maybe if this was a Dark Ruler or no more instead. So he chain blocks his what's his face, Romulus. And he searches the white dragon again, and then he just goes on. So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, I want him to get rid of his phalanx so he doesn't have a dragon. So I actually decide to Gamma his Metal Marcher, because that gets rid of the tuner as well as the phalanx. I think that was the best place to do it. I'm not completely sure. I mean, I guess I could have tried to Gamma the Link Cross, but I feel if I did that, then he could have just normal summoned anything and then gone into Needle Fiber because Phalanx is a tuner. So I guess I was trying to get all the tuners off his field. Again, I'm not sure what would have been the best thing here. He goes Quick Launch, Tracer. Yeah, he just had enough extenders. Goes into Herald. He makes a misplay there, kind of, but it's fine. Yeah, he just goes through with it. I'm just going to script his end board because it's a long combo. So he has a seal. He rips out the Heritage. That was a good extender. But... Yep. Okay, and I top deck the Dark Ruler, so that's really, really good. Except for all I needed was him to be an equip spell, and I would have been able to do something about this board. Yeah, it's kind of sad. But it happens, yeah. So I'm like, okay, let's see. Dark Ruler. Yes. Um, yeah, I'm like, effect to send Gearfried. Yeah, Renault to add Gearfried. I still can't go into my extra deck though, so yeah. And I said I needed an equip. Sad times. So yeah, no, Dragon Link is absolutely broken, which is why I changed my list a bit more. Yeah, we'll get onto that in a second. This was my list, wasn't it? Yeah. So I'll go to my other list in a second. So my last match is up against Striker. So I'm trying to put as many top tier-ish decks in today's video. So I opened Renault. So this is my most recent list. Renault, Ogier, Olion, Nibiru. So I've added Nibiru and Rota. So this is a really good hand going first. I won the die roll. Yeah, reinforcements of the army. Now, because loads of people don't main Nibiru anymore, I was like, okay, I don't need to play around Nibiru. Connector. I'll look at his hand. Yeah, I lose 500. But I know he's got Nibiru, so I think I'll try and play around the Nibiru. I mean, I don't think there is a way to play around it exactly. But I want to make as many plays as possible, especially sending the Equip spells to the grave so that I can summon Gearfried next turn. I send 4 to summon out Oliver so that I can equip Gearfried next turn as well. He wanted to know why I added, so I showed him Gearfried. I used this effect to add the Living Fossil. Now the issue is I actually drew the O-Lion, so there's not much I can do here. So even if I did reborn the Oliver and go into Needle Fiber, I don't know what to summon from it. I mean, I could have summoned O-Lion, gone to Auroradon, and then I would have been stuck because, yeah, because I've already drawn the O-Lion. So if I was playing 2 O-Lions, yeah, that would have helped. Maybe I could have discarded with Jet to summon. I mean, to discard the O-Lion with Jet. But again, that would have gotten me to what, Herald, and he could just attack over the Herald. So yeah, I was thinking a lot, and then I was just thinking, you know what? Let's just. So you're saying, why'd you add Fossil? I use Nibiru on the summon. I was like, yeah, but it's the effect activates on the summon. So I thought I'd play it slowly because I know he's got in his hand, and Striker's not the most aggressive, I guess. And if he does try to overextend to try and go for game, I can just Nibiru him, and he does know I play Nibiru, so I just ended. He normal summons, that's 1. Special summon, that's 2. Goes into battle phase. He attacks with Nibiru first, then he attacks with Rose, then he attacks with Nibiru, and I was thinking, what? Okay, so that's 3k altogether. And he's like, what is going on? This is the one thing that I didn't really understand. He kept shuffling in his hand after every 2 seconds. Like, I mean, I know people do that in real life, but he just kept doing it. I'm like, why are you doing that? It's not changing anything. Nib attack over token and 3k from striker. That's what I thought. He said, no, I attack Rose. He attacked the token with the Rose, but we already had mentioned that it was on 31 and 17. And he said, okay, so he knew that fact. It's not like I made it up. Token has 17 defense. So then I summon it back, and he goes, okay. So he lost 200 because of that. A bit misplay. And then he attacks for 15. I take 15. Yeah, so I lost 500 from the dolphin before, that's why I've lost 2k altogether. Use the effect, that's third summon. Sends area 0. That's his fourth summon. He adds the thing back to hand, he uses it on the rose and whiffs. Yeah, I was about to say, what's he doing adding a terraforming to his hand? Broken. Yeah. So he whiffs, that's his fifth summon, he uses the effect to banish. One opponent on the field, banish you until the opponent's next end phase, so it's going to be gone until my next end phase, that's perfectly fine. And that's more than 5 summons. He sets a card, and he goes to end phase, and I say end of main, Nibiru. Summon the token on his side, so he can't use his effects, his spells or traps. I summon an attack because it's only got 15. Draw for turn. Okay, so now I've got Gear Freed, so I can negate his Ray. Summon Gear Freed. Now he changed that because he knows I can negate. And he summons. Well, actually, I activate the effect of Oliver first, targeting Gear Freed. And I don't like when people do this. Like you're trying to resolve an effect, and they're just activating all of their effects, thinking that they can activate them mid chain. If you're one of these people, don't do that because you have to wait for everything to resolve first. And if you knew that, you would have known that I wouldn't have been able to target, my guy. But because he did that, I said, okay, you know what? Oh well, he's already done a few things, so it's kind of annoying. I negate it, and then he summons back Ray. I'm going to win this anyway, regardless of if he had targeted whatever he had targeted, because I would have negated it either way, even if he targeted Nibiru. So, yeah, so I summoned that. Had the Durandal Madish, he says no. I'm like, okay, I don't think he knew how to play against Infernobles. I summoned Hulk, he admits defeat. So that was game 1. Now he made me go first game 2, and I'm thinking, damn, I should have expected the Mystic Mine. I don't think I sided Cosmics in because I was thinking, oh, I'm going to go second, and they're probably not going to set something. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, I've got quite a few cards. Yeah, not bad. Obviously, this loses to everything in the world. So as long as I don't lose my Isolde, I'll be able to play through this because I can send equip spells. I send 1 to summon him. Back to Renault. Target Durandal. Says okay. Use the effect of Durandal. That. Now he hasn't done anything yet. Again, this is my 4th summon, so I guess it makes sense. 5th summon. Summon Link Cross. Now I'm praying, let me summon Roland first. But no, he catches wind of it, I guess, and he Nibiru's me before I go into Needle Fiber. So I have the token. So I've written it 1915. He says an attack. Yeah. So I didn't want to summon out my Gearfried. I think I just forgot I had the Oliver engrave, really. But again, I don't know. I just thought it'd be a bit difficult to play around. Anyway, so because I think I was hoping he would get rid of my monster, and then I'd be able to gamma him. So because if he attacks over my thing and then leaves my Gearfried, I can't be targeted. Yeah, sure, but it still leaves me open to him just carrying on his plays. And then he just passes turn. I'm thinking he's got multiple hand traps in his hand. I forgot the Mystic Mine completely. That's my bad. I use his effect to summon it. He Veilers it on summon, and I'm thinking, okay. Use the effect of that. Summon, normal summon. I go into metal because again, this is the old line, so there's no point in me going into Hulk to summon back the Jet Synchron. So I do that. 3 and a 3 makes 6. I use that to get rid of this guy. Now they're both tuners. That's why, yeah. I mean, they would have been both tuners anyway because of Metal Marcher. So I do that. And yeah, use the effect of a Stolfo, so I can summon in 2 turns. I actually don't have an out to my Mystic Mind, so I guess yeah, he targets my guy. Yeah, and then it just becomes a lot of drawing, passing, and I'm thinking, okay, I don't have any outs. Why am I playing this? Last game, I decided to go first. Yeah, it was actually weird. Actually, I just realized he was actually quite a low rating compared to me. Yeah, so he opened Vela, Pank, Terraforming Desires, multi-role, so he's got one interruption, and Pank is really good. I've opened Pank as well. I kept it in because I was thinking if he tries to, if he Nibiru's me or something, I should have something to fall back to in case I don't open the best. I do have Connector, effective Connector, looking at his hand. He Velas it before I can actually summon the Dolphin, but I had the Extender. So I can just, again, go ham. Add Red Layer. And he keeps shuffling his hand again. And I'm thinking, okay, I've already seen your hand. There's nothing that's going to change. So there's that. Got my Savage. This time I'm expecting that he's shuffling his hand. This time I'm expecting the Mystic Mind. So I'm like, okay, I'll try and rip it out of his hand, and I've got a negation for it as well. That, summon that. I use Omega to target the Veiler because if he draws Veiler, that's fine. I'd rather him draw that than Mystic Mind. And he's shuffling his hand again. I should put like a counter of how many times he shuffled his hand. And he shuffles his hand again. Okay, so I add back the Divine Sword, Roland Resolves, and then Charles Effect to pop Grenade. I'll get rid of the Pancratops. I think that's the biggest card that's bad. Desires I can negate. I've got Cosmic for the field spell, so we're doing quite well. He top decks Array, which is actually quite good. He activates Terraform. I'm like, okay, that's fine. The less mines in deck, the better. He activates that. I chain Cosmic because if I hadn't and he had something like Afterburners, he could have just targeted my Savage and I would have been able to negate. So I just get rid of it. He Desires, I mean, I have to get rid of that really because I don't want him to draw into mine. That's literally all I'm thinking right now. I think normal summons Ray. 0/0. If it goes into battle phase, use that. Use the effect of Ray. Yeah, at least 5 got 15. That's perfectly fine. He uses the effect of Sentiment to Grave. Summons Kagari. I'm not actually worried about the Afterburner because he can't target my Charles, and that's all I really need. I've already used my negation for Savage, so it doesn't really matter too much. He activates multi-roll. He gets rid of that. Now he's got one counter, but he goes end phase. I say he's still in end of main target Charles with Roland. I use the effect of Roland to destroy the multi-roll, and there you go. He's got one card in his hand. I don't really care what it is, really. Then effective Charles, because this is either end phase, I equip him with Grenade and Ogia, so now I can't be targeted or destroyed. Now he's on 1500 more, so he's on 45. Yeah, that's basically game because I've got I've got the Gayfried as well, and I've got the Monster Reborn. So yeah, I was just gonna pop that, and he was gonna chain his Ray, and I was gonna negate it with Gayfried. Then I was gonna reborn my Savage, and then that would have been game. So yeah, so that was pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. So I think the deck now is a lot more consistent than it was before. Just to show you my new list. Okay, so here is my new list. So I'm playing Roland in the main. I've taken out the Gammas in the main because I'm thinking if I want to go first, what's the point of Gamma? Because if I do have monsters on field and they stop me some time, even if they Nibiru me or if they stop me somewhere else in my combo with a Veiler or something, I still have monsters on field, so Gamma's dead. So what I decided to do was have something that can go first or second. So this is good first again because even if I do have monsters, I can stop him. Ash, I think, doesn't do enough anymore in this current format. So I thought, play something that actually gets rid of their whole board and gives me a body. And then Imperm, I think, yeah, it's all right. It doesn't activate talents, so it's pretty good. And it's a trap, so it can't be called by. I've added an extra red layer as well. And yeah, the rest of it pretty much the same, I think. So yeah, that's my new list. My side, yeah, I've taken out the droplets because I feel like I've got the Imperm. I don't really need the droplets too much, I don't think. Maybe I'll take Imperm out for droplets, but again, I'm not too sure. I guess with the droplets, you can always, use it to break someone's board because the deck can break a board. So, but I'll have to see because again, I don't want to be getting rid of my resources, especially with people making Herald of the Arclight You can't really send monsters with droplets, so I guess I'll just experiment with that. But no, everything else, extra deck is still the same. So yeah, that was episode 4 of Infernoble Knights versus the World. I know these episodes sometimes can get long, but again, I want to explain as much as I can. Today's matches were quite nice. And I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.